So today, Google released a new update called Stitch Skills. And basically, this uses the same agent skills that you can find in tools like Stitch with Google. Now, Stitch with Google is their front end development tool. This is a free tool that you can use to design the front of whatever app you're vibe coding out, right? So you can see an example right here. Now, what you can actually do is you can plug these skills directly into Antigravity using this GitHub repo, like you can see. And this is completely free. You can also use it inside Gemini CLI, Claude Code, and Cursor as well. So we're going to be testing this out and getting started with this and seeing how it performs and seeing if we get better outputs. All right. So we're going to go to Antigravity like so. And then if you want to install this, you can basically install it inside the chat. Like you see with all these other agents I've got on the left-hand side, these are all other skills that I've pre-installed from GitHub. So we're going to get straight into this. And what I'm going to do is take all the information from this page, like you see, and then we're going to go over to Antigravity like so, and we say, okay, install this, right? And in fact, I think one of the best ways to try this out is just to start a new window and test this out on a new project that doesn't have any other agents pre-installed. So let's just call this one Stitch. We'll set up a new folder right here, and then we'll open up the project, right? Now, basically, if you're not familiar with this, you can now load skills into Antigravity, as you can see right here, and then it will set up your project. It will add the skills and any agents you install directly on the left-hand side. Why would you want to do that? Because it adds like these plugins and augmentations into Antigravity that gives you better outputs, right? So if you want to be able to vibe code better outputs for free using Antigravity and pre-installed skills for whatever you want to command, then you can do it this way. Okay. The other cool thing here is like this isn't just limited to front end stuff. So, for example, if we have a look at this one, we actually installed like a manage style plugin that helps you plan better when you're creating projects inside Antigravity. Also, some people say, well, is this better than something like Claude Code? And I would say at this point, like you're getting to the point now where it's almost at the same level if you're creating basic projects. Now, if you need something super complex, I would still say Claude Code is better. But considering Antigravity is free, you can use extensions inside here to create better outputs and bypass the token limits, because you can install Visual Studio Code or you can install Client and use the methods from there. And you can add skills and you can add MCPs. It's really powerful for vibe coding stuff out, right? And then you can see on the left-hand side, we've now got Stitch installed with the agents we were talking about, right? So we've got Design MD, which is the Stitch agent. And then we can start using these skills to create whatever we want, right? So you can use this on Claude, Gemini, OpenCode, but we're using this directly inside Antigravity. And the other cool thing about this is like, I don't have to be able to code to do this. I don't have to understand terminal to be able to do this. I can literally just ask the agent inside the chat to start coding out for me and start installing this stuff for me so that I don't need to mess around with code myself. So you can see here now it's beginning to say, okay, I've successfully installed the Stitch agent skills into your workspace at blah, blah, blah. I've added 2 powerful skills into my repertoire. Number 1, Design MD, right? And it says here, I can now analyze Stitch projects and generate a comprehensive design MD file, right? This serves as a semantic design system that uses natural designer-friendly language to describe your project's atmosphere, color palette, typography, and component styling. Then you've also got React components, right? So it says I can convert Stitch screens directly into modular high-quality Vite and React components. This includes creating type-safe interfaces, isolating logic into custom hooks, and decoupling static data into mock files. I don't know exactly what that means, but I like the sound of it, all right? And then what you can do from here to start using these skills is you can provide a Stitch project ID or screen URL, or you can give a design screen to convert, or you can request a new design concept, right? So you can take existing skills, existing designs from Stitch if you want to, or what you can actually do is you can start using the MCP server with Stitch and then plug in existing project URLs, right? So let's keep going from here. So for example, if we're like, okay, let's take this screen like so. We'll grab that. As you can see, we'll copy that image and we'll say, okay, redesign this page using Stitch skills. and we'll test this out. And you can see it's beginning to think and start doing its own magic. And then it's broken down. Okay, here's what we're going to do, right? So it's like, right, this is a good challenge to redesign the Goldie agency landing page for my SEO agency. I will apply the Stitch agent skills I've just installed. There we go, right? And even though this doesn't have access to a Stitch project live, it can still redesign the existing website to create a new one, like you can see. So it's now generating the design.md file, which is basically documenting the new design language. And then it's going to start creating the project using Vite and React. And you can see here, for example, it's creating all the project files on the left-hand side, ready for our project to go. So as you can see, this was the announcement from Google Stitch. It was just announced literally like 2 or 3 hours ago. And they've said introducing Stitch agent skills, right? So powered by the Add Skill Installer, you can inject Stitch expertise directly into your project with a single command, right? And this design MD file, right, it generates a source of truth for your design rules. So what that means is it's more consistent across all the UI that you create. And then also you've got Stitch designs that you can turn into production ready React components with design token consistency. Carlos says, do you know of any local agents that can run kind of like Vercept? So you can actually use Claude Cowork. Claude Cowork is pretty good. I've actually done a lot of research on Claude Cowork alternatives. So you can see, for example, yesterday I actually looked at Aeon UI, which is like a free Cowork alternative to Claude Cowork. And another one was OpenClaude. OpenClaude is worth checking out too. Carlos says you don't read comments. I do indeed, my friend. I just read yours out. Mystery Publish says, how can I build a video game website? So actually, I'll come on to that in a minute, and we can talk about some ways that you can do that with Antigravity. And now we have the new website, as you can see. So this is the new website designed from Stitch, which looks totally different, but also better versus the original. All right. And that's using the agent skill. So if we take a look, for example, here, side by side, you can see this is the original website that we gave Antigravity to work with, and this is the new version, right? And the new version obviously looks a lot nicer, a lot cleaner, and feels a lot more professional as well, feels less DIY, etc. Right? And then it's also got the CTAs to book in a call or get backlinks, etc. Even like that is quite nice. And that was the first go with Stitch. So would recommend, it's a pretty powerful AI agent. You can set it up very quickly, as you can see, and it's completely free. Plus it can check it out locally. And then if you want to, you can always deploy that to Netlify, right? But yeah, that's basically how you can build with the new skills feature from Stitch. You can also link this to existing projects. So for example, you could plug in a project from Stitch you already have, and then ask Antigravity to actually build that out, right? So for example, if you go to Stitch over here, and let's say we've got a project URL like so, we can just, number one, make this shareable. Number two, copy the link. Number three, go over to Antigravity and just say, okay, recreate this one. Now we may have to link the MCP server for Stitch, but let's try it out. If you actually look at the MCP store inside Antigravity, it doesn't have Stitch listed inside the default. So I think you would have to set that up separately. But also what the agent can do is it can just navigate to the Stitch project like this, and then use that Stitch project from the browser agent to recreate it inside Antigravity, if that makes sense. So that's it. That's exactly how to use Antigravity with Stitch skills. As you can see, it's free, it's easy to set up, etc. And I think like this has just been launched, so I'm sure there'll be more skills being added later. If you want to get the video notes from today and lots of training on Antigravity, you can get that inside the AI Success Lab, which connects you with 48,000 people interested in AI automation. If you actually go to the video notes right here, as you can see, I've added a link to the GitHub for Stitch skills right there. So you can get it in the video notes if you want to. And then you can just copy and paste the information from the GitHub and plug that directly into Antigravity to install it. Pretty simple and easy. And if you want to learn more about growing your business with AI automation, if you want to join a community of serious entrepreneurs, if you want to save time and scale and steal the same AI systems that I use to automate my business, then you can check out the AI Profit Boardroom. This is an amazing community of serious AI builders who are trying to grow, learn, and build with AI. You can see that we have a daily accountability group, so you can actually post your goals for the day, stay focused, avoid information overload, avoid overwhelm. And just check in with your goals like you see everyone's doing right here. Also, you can see that it's not just me winning with AI. So you can see all the crazy stuff that people are doing, what they're building, who's winning with AI, as you can see. And then also inside the calendar, we have 4 weekly coaching calls per week. So you can jump on these coaching calls, ask any questions you have, get help and support whenever you need it, live on a call. And you can learn how to go from complete beginner to expert with AI automation in just 5 weeks plus, how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes. On top of that, you also learn from my playbooks. You'll get my best automations for Twitter, for newsletters, for shorts, for AI avatar videos, If you want to grow on X, this is one of my best strategies I actually reveal inside this section. And then additionally, you can see here that if you want to get more clients, you can join the agency course. You can watch back the coaching calls if you miss them. You can learn how to rank #1 inside AI search engines. And you'll also learn my 6-week roadmap based on what's working for me to grow a YouTube channel. So that's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Feel free to get it. Link in the comments description. So the AI assistant for desktop, if you wanted to use one, well, you could use Open Manus, you could use Facet, you could use Aeon UI, and I would just keep finding them. Also, for me personally, I don't use Windows, and it's for reasons like this. It's quite often these new tools are not usable. So yeah, but I would recommend those, checking those out. If not, just keep googling. Or I've got loads of videos on like AI agents on YouTube, and also you don't necessarily need a local one. You know, you could host one online if you're really struggling to find options. So for example, like GenSpark, Manus, these are good options for AI super agents. You got Skywork as well. So, Remotion have just released a new agent skills that allows you to make videos using Claude Code. So, we're going to be testing this out today and seeing how it performs, and we'll try and set it up. So, let's get straight into this. So, we're going to start setting up this using the GitHub for Remotion inside Claude Code. And then you can choose which agent you want to install the skills to. So you can actually set it up inside Antigravity, which is pretty cool. But for now, we're going to go with Claude Code. Then we're going to reopen Claude Code once we've set up Remotion, as you can see. And says, I'm currently using Zapier MCP server with Cursor to set up a Shopify business. Is that okay, or should I be using Antigravity instead? I would honestly say, like, it depends what you want. I mean, Cursor is a really good tool, right? So if you're happy with that and it's working for you, then you can go with that. There's many ways of the mountain, so just choose and pick whichever one works for you. Personally, for me, I'm loving Antigravity, but Cursor is very powerful too. And then when it comes to windsurf versus anti-gravity versus cursor, for me, like I say, I'm using anti-gravity mostly. I rarely use cursor, I rarely use windsurf, but I would put anti-gravity up there, then cursor, then windsurf at the bottom. I don't really use windsurf at all anymore. So you can see here, we're going to test this out. This is the first time I'm using it, but we've said create a 5-second animation with a logo bouncing in the center. And then we're going to be using the skill Remotion to start doing this. And by the way, if you want to get access to the installation notes and how to set this up, plus the resources from today, what I'm going to do is put that inside the classroom of the AI Success Lab, link in the comments and description. And if you go to January 2026, sorry, 21st of January 2026, we have a new page here. Called Remotion and Claude Code Video Editing, and you can see the links in the installation instructions from here. Now you can see it is installing a few different things here. So we've just got to wait for these dependencies to install first before we can start using it, which is pretty normal. But here's an example. You can also use this inside open code as well. So you just add the skill, then you get the agent skill. And then you can build videos like you see right here, which is pretty crazy. Right. Some of these videos look really cool, actually. Back in a sec. Mandy says, "Are you walking or something, or is this a hovering effect in the air?" So right now, I'm not actually floating. I'll be 100% honest with you. I'm actually on a walking treadmill, getting the steps in whilst I make these videos for you. So let's see. So it's created the videos here. We're going to say npm run studio. See if we can check this out. It's interesting. So it creates a logo, creates the animation, and we'll see if we can check this out. Here we go, and allow that. Boom. Wow. We just created a video with Claude Code. That is amazing. That is genuinely amazing. Pretty insane. I wonder if we can set it up inside Claude Desktop so it's easier to use. So you can add like pictures and stuff inside Claude Desktop. What else could we do? Let's have a look at this then. All right, so we're going to download a logo from our website. And then we'll go over to terminal here. we'll grab the name of that file and the location. So we've added the image there. And then we'll say, okay, create an animation for this logo, animate it, and make it more interesting. Do you know, it's funny, actually, I saw this post on X about this recently, about Remotion. And I was like, that looks great, but I don't know if it works in reality. And when I checked out the GitHub and everything else, it didn't seem like there was much information there. And then I actually saw it was Income Stream Surfers on YouTube, who has a fantastic channel about AI. And I saw his video yesterday about it, and then I watched it this morning. I was like, we got to try this out. And it is really, really powerful. So credit to Income Stream Surfers for this. He's the one who showed this on his channel first. But it is really cool. Looks interesting for sure. I mean, the fact that you get like a little studio like this as well with the UI is pretty nice too. Then you can upload the assets. So you can see here that by putting that image into Claude Code, we've now got the logo inside the asset section. And then I think we can copy that to clipboard, go over here, and boom, look at that. That's the video that we've created with Claude Code. That's crazy. That is crazy. Let me know what you think inside the comments. But for me, that's probably one of the most interesting updates I've seen for a while. The fact that you can edit videos, the fact that you can bring animations to life, and you're doing this with a free GitHub plus Claude Code. Like, that blows my mind, genuinely. So, really cool stuff. Let's try something else out now. We'll see what else people have created with Remotion on X for inspiration. Yeah, there's some crazy stuff here. All right. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to come up with a prompt first inside Claude, and then using Claude, we'll plug that prompt into Claude Code, right? So let's say, okay, come up with a animation for my SEO agency, kind of like a presentation. It's just like a 5-second clip. Looks amazing, has text, has effects, etc. Come up with the whole scene and make it as interesting and as dopamine inducing as you possibly can be. So give me the prompt that I'll paste directly into Claude Code later. So what we've done there to come up with inspiration is plug in our logo from our website and then come up with a prompt, like you can see, so that we can build something that looks even better than this. Now, this looks really cool. Genuinely looks cool. The only thing that I don't like is it's kind of flipped our logo over the top. So not perfect by any means, but the fact that you can do this already is absolutely mind-blowing, because imagine what you can do in like 5 months or 6 months, etc. Right? This has come a long, long way. So you can see here now I've got quite a long, complex prompt from Claude to create something better. We said create a 5-second SEO agency intro animation with the following specifications: visual concept, animation sequence, blah, 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 right? And so what I'm going to do from here is we'll go back into Claude Code. Inside the terminal, we'll paste that in. And then what we need to do here is just grab the logo as well. So we can copy that file like so, paste that in. By the way, I can't code, not technical. I can do this. If I can do it, anyone can do it, right? So we're going to head into like so. We've got the full prompt like this and the logo. The other thing that blows my mind is like I'm just on a Mac Mini right now, right? So it's not like a particularly powerful computer, but it seems like this can work on almost any laptop. So you know, if you've got something half decent, half modern, I think you could probably test this out yourself too. Joey says that's very interesting indeed. Going to try it out myself. Yeah, would definitely recommend. Like, it looks really cool. Bear in mind, peeps, like if you go onto Fiverr or something like that, like you can end up paying like, I don't know, anywhere between $30 to $50 for a simple animation like this. Whereas now you can create your own. They look better, they work faster, and they're customized exactly how you want them, right? That's the beautiful thing about this. And this is just a start. We're just getting started with this. So now you can see it's beginning to create the animations. I do think this is going to take a bit longer simply because it's more of a complex animation, which means that it takes longer for the AI to really process. You can see how it works so far. If you want to set this up yourself, you can get the notes inside the AI Success Lab, like I mentioned earlier. You can actually just type in Remotion in the archive, and it will find the tutorial for you with the links and the setup instructions. Also, I think this is probably something that you get better and better at. So, for example, if you look at the first one, pretty average, right? Pretty average. Not impressive at all. The second one, we got much better output. So this is the second animation that we created. The third one, let's have a look. So this is like an advert for our agency. And again, that's way more interesting. That's got much more coming up and it's much more relevant to my agency, right? So we went from this, which is super basic, to this, which is nice but simple, to this, which is like getting more towards beast mode, right? It'd be interesting to see if you can add like a voiceover over the top of this using something like 11 Labs, and then also creating like Facebook ads, for example, or something like that. Right? Also wonder whether you could use this to animate AI avatars, but there's so much to it, so much interesting stuff you can do. What I'm actually going to do is say, give me $100 prompts that we can test out with Remotion. So we'll try this one. Coffee shop intro. Animate coffee beans falling and forming logo. Steam rises spelling our shop name. Warm brown cream palette. Cozy morning vibe, right? We'll try that one for an animation inside Remotion. So let's plug that in. I love the fact that you can just talk to it in simple language, and literally to install it, all we did was just literally copy that, right? It was really simple to install. And I like the fact that it breaks down the animation timeline as well based on what they created. Plus, it hosts it locally in a nice UI so you can preview the image itself. Could play with this all day. Wilty says, Julian, the hardest working man in the ASphere. Thank you so much. Dog named Sam says, hey, what up, Julian? Good to see you as well. Be interesting to see if you can use this inside Antigravity as well. I wonder if it's limited to Claude Code or if you can use it inside Antigravity. We'll test that out later too. All right, so we should have the new video here for the Coffee Beans trailer. Let's test this out. Here we go. Let's go. Look at that. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. We one-shotted it, by the way. Coffee beans falling from the sky, creating the logo, and then where every cup tells a story. Beautiful. Beautiful. What a time to be alive. So that's basically how to use Remotion. You can control it with Claude Code. You can code anything you want in terms of animations. You can take existing logos, create them. You can take a prompt, create them. You can take an idea from your head. If it's a 5-second animation that you want to create, you just plug it in here. If you want 100 prompts on how to use this, plus the setup instructions for using Remotion, you can get that inside the AI Success Lab. Link in the comments description, completely free. Connects you with 48,000 members, like you can see. If you go to the classroom here, and then you go to Remotion, you can see inside this section, we have the resources to the GitHub. We have the setup instructions, like you can see. And then I've also included 100 prompts that you can test out yourself for all sorts of businesses, all sorts of industries. If you want to try this out yourself or just get some copy and paste ideas, it'll be quite fun to create, just like you see right here. Now, if you're serious about growing and scaling your business with AI, if you want to save time, if you want to automate your business and get my best playbooks for automating, then you can get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description. This is an amazing community with 2,100 members who are all focused on growing and scaling with AI. And these are serious entrepreneurs who are really focused on just moving forward and taking action and implementing this stuff, right? So inside the community here, you can post any questions you have. And there's literally people online 24/7. So it doesn't really matter when you post. You're always going to get answers, like you see with Kevin. He posted, you can see, for example, Maddie posted 6 hours ago. She's already got a reply, right? So you can post any questions you have. You can get help and support. We also do a weekly update where we post and take my 80 hours of research and condense that into a quick 1-minute update like you see we did last week. And we do this every single week to help you really avoid overwhelm and shiny object syndrome. So I take everything that I've learned and then I'm like, right, here's what's worth your time and here's what's cool, but you should probably skip these, right? And then also inside the calendar, you get 4 coaching calls per week. So you can jump on these coaching calls if you get stuck or if you want to meet the community or if you want to learn from others. And it's kind of like a Q&A where you can ask any questions you have. Also inside the classroom, you can see all of my best trainings. So for example, if you want to learn AI automation and you're a complete beginner, you can go from beginner to expert in just 5 weeks, plus learn how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes. On top of that, you'll get my best playbooks. So if you want to learn, for example, how to automate X, if you want to learn how to automate newsletters or AI avatar videos, you can get all my best trainings and playbooks inside the classroom right here. Additionally, you'll learn how to get more clients using the agency course. If you can't make the live coaching calls or the Q&A sessions, you can watch them back here and here. And then additionally, if you want to learn how to rank #1 inside Google or other AI search engines, you can learn my best playbook right here. And that's what's getting us results like this. As you can see, the free traffic that we're getting to our website with SEO is pretty insane. It's increasing, and we reveal the whole playbook right here. Additionally, you've probably seen me on YouTube or you've probably seen my videos. If you're watching this, we actually released our whole roadmap for growing and scaling the YouTube AI channel based on what's working for me inside this section here. So if you want to scale your YouTube, if you want to reach more people, if you want to create more videos and, achieve your goals with YouTube, then you can do that using the training inside the classroom. So today I'm going to show you how to use a combination of Google Antigravity plus Remotion, which is a free, powerful video creator, like you can see here, to create and edit and build automations and animations using anti-gravity, right? And you can see some examples of what we've built right here. These are automations, animations that were built with AI automatically using my logo, for example, and even, for example, creating these fully animated videos like you can see in plain text, right? You don't need to be technical to actually be able to install this. So I'm going to be walking you through exactly how to use this using the free version of Antigravity. Let's get straight into this. If you want all the video notes from today, you can get it inside the AI Success Lab, link in the comments description. This also connects you with 48,000 members, like you can see. And if you go to the classroom here and then you type in Remotion in the archive, you can see the video notes, okay? So from here, we're going to be using this GitHub, like you can see. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over to Antigravity now that we've installed it, which is Google's free IDE. And we can actually leverage this agent to build whatever we want. So from here, we're going to start installing this. So you can see, for example, we actually have this blog that we've built to promote the AI Profit Boardroom. It's also got, for example, like a blog attached to it, right? So what happens if we wanted to add some animations and videos to this website? Well, let's test this out with Remotion. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to start setting this up. Like you can see, we can just paste the instructions into Google Antigravity. Like you see, the benefit of using Antigravity, of course, is that it's free, and also it has Claude code installed inside it as well, which I'll show you how to set up in a second. So I'm just going to paste the information from the GitHub like this. And let's get this party started. What I'm also going to do in the meantime, just in case it doesn't work inside the chat here, because it's the first time I'm using it with Antigravity, is we're going to open up a new terminal here, and we're going to be using Claude code as well to help us set this up at the same time, right? This way, we get the best of both worlds. Another way it's going to work, right? So we're going to paste the instructions inside the terminal for Claude code, as well as using it inside Antigravity on the right-hand side, like you can see. So that either way, we can operate this. So you can see it says select the agents to install the skills to, and I'm going to say to Antigravity like this. We do the same inside Claude Code. So we've got two terminals running really. We've got the right-hand side with the chat of Antigravity, and then we also have Claude Code in the middle and building this out too. The reason that I've done that is because it might not work on one of them or both of them. So we just want to test how this is working. Again, this is the first time I'm setting up inside Antigravity. But it should be fairly simple. It's also kind of fun having two agents and two terminals open up at the same time. It looks cool. You feel like you're in the Matrix. So from here, we're going to just allow and let all of this run. And boom, the Remotion skill is installed, and it's just going to check this is working, like you can see. And then we should be able to use this to start creating animations. It looks like this is struggling. So the chat is actually struggling versus using Claude Code. So I would say Claude Code inside Antigravity, probably the easiest and the fastest way to set this up, but we'll keep trying with the chat as well. And then what we can do from here is we can plug in a video, create that with Claude Code, install it inside our project, and then we can actually add that to our vibe coded website. So let's try this out now. What I'm actually going to do is go back to the website we've built out, which you can see on the left-hand side. So you've got all these files, right? And you see the Remotion video section set up right here. So we can now start creating animations. And what I'm going to do is just open up the index.html, and you'll see why in a second. So let's open this up. You see the index.html file here. And that's the website itself, right? Perfect. Great. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a screenshot of this, like you can see. We're going to go back to Antigravity like this. We've pasted in the image, right? So you can see the image is pasted there with the link to the PNG file. And we say, okay, create a beautiful video animation for this page that I can embed on the homepage that looks fun, etc. Right? And then if we have a look at the website, this is for the AR Profit Lab, right? So we're gonna take that, go back to Antigravity and say, okay, create it for this. Make it look awesome, amazing, interesting, etc. Now you can see on the right-hand side that the chat is still struggling to install this, whereas if you're using it inside Claude Code, it seems to run a lot better and a lot cleaner. So it should start just going off and building that. The other cool thing you could do is just like, if you wanted to create this inside Claude Code directly instead of Antigravity, you could do that. And then if we go back to the videos that we have over here, like this, we could just render that video and then plug this directly into our website as well, right? So that's another way to do it. So for example, if we go to this one, click on the rocket, click on render video, like that, it's going to start rendering now. Now we've got the MP4. We can open that up in the folder, like you can see. We can copy that video. Then we can go over to the chat here and we can drag this into our downloads folder just so it's easier to find. Go inside the chat. And by the way, this is finished creating as well now. So we could say, okay, create a 5-second animation for this. Let's try that. All right, so that's beginning to create the coffee shop introduction video. We've got Claude Code in the middle that can code out as well with animations. So you could create multiple animations at the same time if you wanted to as well. And then the other thing you could do here is you could go to whatever project you want to build. Then you can go to add and just copy the video that you have like this, copy that, go over to Antigravity, paste that in. And you can just reference a file like that to embed it into your project too, right? So you can analyze the downloads folder, find the MP4 video, and then use that. Now, if we go back to the video animation here, you can see it says the video has been rendered and is ready for use. And then it actually links to the MP4 file, right? The MP4 file was there. If we reveal that in Finder, there we go. And boom, we just created a video with Antigravity for the AI Lab Cafe, as you can see, right? And see, you can create videos and animations now using Antigravity in Google. And the cool thing about this is, right, the Antigravity is free, the GitHub is free. You can have more tokens by using either Claude Code or one of the extensions, like, for example, Klein or Root Code inside here. And then you can build these videos, add it to your project, or just create animations for fun. And now as well, you don't need to hire someone to create animations for you. or you don't need to rely on these external tools. You've got everything inside one ecosystem, which is Google Antigravity. And also you can code out multiple animations at the same time, because you can use Claude Code in the terminal over here. And then you can also use Google Antigravity animations on the right-hand side, right? Pretty insane, pretty insane. The other cool thing here as well is like you could take your actual logo and then say create an animation with this. So if we go back to this example, you can see this is Goldie Agency's logo. And if we play the animation, it looks pretty clean. It's relevant to SEO, which is what our agency sells. And then you can see it's just animated this cool little video using Remotion. Insane. So that's basically how to use Google Antigravity with animations. Pretty simple. Doesn't take long at all. You can set it up inside the chat over here, and you can just copy and paste the instructions that I've given you today, which you can get inside the AI Success Lab. So if you go to the AI Success Lab, link in the comments description, it's a completely free community I've built for you with all of my free trainings on AI, right? So it's got 48,000 members. You can see how active the community is. You can see inside the classroom, they have all these free trainings, and you can actually use the search bar at the top to find whatever you want, right? So if you type in Remotion here, you can find the video notes from today. And then if you just want to set this up with Google Antigravity, you can just grab all the information here and then plug that into Antigravity in the chat or Claude Code like I showed you today, right? The other cool thing you can do here is if you type in Antigravity, we actually have tons of trainings for free with video tutorials and step-by-step guides on exactly how to use this stuff, right? So if you want to learn, for example, how to use Antigravity step-by-step, we've got a full guide right here. We have a full video tutorial, and we have loads of this stuff, right? Because I'm always testing and then sharing with the world what I create and what I build. So for example, if you look through this list, you can see all this cool stuff that we've used with Antigravity and Remotion. And if you want to steal the same strategies from me, they're all right there waiting for you inside the AI Success Lab for free. And also, if you haven't already, check out the AI Profit Boardroom. This is an amazing community of serious AI entrepreneurs who are scaling, saving time, and growing their business with AI. And you can see that we have 2,100 members in here who are ready to help each other win, right? So you can see, for example, we have a daily accountability group where you can actually post your goals for the day. And the beautiful thing about this is, right, number one, you're learning and growing together because you're all sharing your goals. Number two, it creates accountability because now you actually, if you have a high say to do ratio, have to do everything that you write down. And then number three, it creates this atmosphere where everyone's competing but learning and helping each other in a healthy way. And I love that, right? Now, you can also see inside the community here, you can post any questions, get help, get support whenever you need to. And also inside the calendar here, you can see that you can jump on these live coaching calls. You can ask any questions in real time. You can speak to an expert, and you can meet the rest of the community. We also have this map section where you can meet people in your local area. So you can just zoom in to whichever area you're in, and then you can DM these people that are in the same community and say, hey, you want to jump on a Zoom call, or you want to meet in real life, and we can talk about this stuff, and we can share and learn and grow together, right? Also, you can see inside the classroom, you get all of my best trainings inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So for example, you can go from complete beginner to expert with AI automation, plus learn how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes. On top of that, you get my best playbooks, for example, for YouTube, for X automations, for avatar videos. If you check out any of my social media and you're like, how does this guy do this? How does this guy like get millions of views across all his platforms? Well, what I'm doing is using the playbooks inside this section. Additionally, if you want to learn how to get more clients, you can check out the client section here. If you want to watch back the coaching call recordings, because you can't make them live, you can see them here. And if you want to learn how to rank #1 inside Google and ChatGPT and other AI search engines, you can check out this section. That's actually based on what's working for us. Like you see, this is my website, juliangolder.com. And you can see since we start using AI SEO on our website, boom, shakalaka, off to the moon, right? And if you want to get those playbooks, right there. If you want to learn how to grow a YouTube channel based on what's working for me, you can see my roadmap right here. And this just guides you through step by step exactly how to implement this stuff. So that's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description, or just get it at aiprofitboardroom.com. We actually have over 116 pages of testimonials, like you can see right here, from people who are winning with AI, right? So it's not just me. You can see these are all real testimonials from real people. And we have 115 pages this stuff, right? It goes on forever. It's an infinite scroll. So feel free to check that out. Link in the comments and description. Dog named Sam says, do you have a Discord? I actually don't. I prefer to use School. I think it's a lot cleaner. Although there is a Discord for annual members. So if you want to connect with our annual members and you love Discord, then you can check that out inside the AR Profit Boardroom. You can see how Dog Name Sense says, I love how Julian leaned into the insane thing as he should have. He's producing some of the best educational AR content. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Antigravity or Cursor for AI Studio Prototype app development. I like Antigravity. I just like Google's ecosystem, honestly. And what workflow do you recommend for finalizing the deploying app prototypes? Yeah, so I'd recommend Antigravity, and then you can use the MCP of Netlify, which just makes it super easy. How do you use Remotion inside AI Studio? I don't know if you can, but if you can, then you would just use the same instructions I gave you today. But honestly, I think Antigravity or Claude Code is the best option for doing that instead. And then Hamid says GPT Pro 5.2 is much smarter than Opus 4.5 and Sonnet 0.5. Controversial, my friend. Controversial. All right, so today we're going to be checking out Ernie 5.0, which is a new release from Baidu, which is one of the biggest search engines in China, and released this large language model that you can see, right? So we're going to be testing out. You can see the benchmarks here. So you can see how it performs versus Gemini 3 Pro, Gemini 2.5 Pro, 3.2 Thinking from DeepSeek, and GPT-5 High, right? So if we look at the chart, it's a little bit hard to understand, to be honest with you. But you can see here in bright blue is Ernie 5.0, and it's holding its own according to these benchmarks. But you know me, I always check out the tool itself first and test it out firsthand before we start using this. So we can try it at ernie.baidu.com. So we'll try this out now. Let's get this party started. If it loads, taking a while. You can see actually on Open Router that you can't get access to it just yet. So it does seem like the only place to get it is Baidu. So let's try this out in a sec. And you can see if we actually look in the rankings on LM Arena compared to the other models, we've got Gemini 3 Pro, 4.1 Thinking, Gemini 3 Flash, and then we have so far at number 8 all time is Ernie, and that's for text generation. So let's see. We'll go over here, check this out. And this finally opened up. Bear in mind, this took absolutely ages to load up. I don't know whether it's because of the location I'm in, but it did take its sweet time. GK session says, can you just say 3 plus 2? There we go. 1 plus 3 is 2. There you go, mate. Fully validated. All right, and now we've got Ernie 5.0 set up like here. Actually, got a couple of options. We've got the latest version, which is 5.0, and then we have 5.0.0110, which is an Omni modal model. So I guess I can use multiple modes. Now inside here, we can add a custom prompt. We can use voice input. We can upload a file. Let's just go with something basic. We'll try something like, for example, creating content. And if we have a look here, I think it was compared against Gemini. It was also compared against ChatGPT. So maybe we can just give them all a whirl and see how they perform, see which one does the best. I'm going to grab a prompt from the AI Profit Boardroom that we use for SEO. And as you can see from our search console, that prompt works pretty well. Our traffic's going up. So we'll see how that goes. Let's give it a cheeky whirl. All right, so if we go to Classroom over here, we'll go to Playbook. We're going to grab the prompt for video to blog posts. Here we go. We'll grab that. And then we're going to test out Ernie, Big Ernie versus Gemini versus ChatGPT. So what I'm going to do is just grab a video transcript from my channel. We'll try with this one. Grab that, plug this in here, and then we'll say, okay, keyword equals, what was it, Firebase Studio update. Copy that. And then we'll do the same inside Gemini, and we'll do the same inside ChatGPT 5. What's interesting is obviously like Ernie is, you know, it comes from a Chinese company, Baidu, right? So we're using this in English. So it'll be interesting to see how it performs in terms of writing and that sort of thing. And we can actually pull these up side by side. I think that might be easier. Let's see what we got here. So Gemini wrote the massive Firebase Studio update you need to know about. Firebase Studio update, big news for your business. And then we've got here Firebase Studio update just changed how we build everything. If you actually look at the text from ChatGPT 5.2, by the way, it looks weird, right? Like how, honestly, I think I think on the benchmarks, like any new model that comes out and just does the bare minimum is going to beat ChatGPT. I mean, look at the layout of the text right there. That doesn't feel natural. It doesn't look normal. look at the first 4 sentences. They all begin with Firebase Studio Update. Like, it's super weird. The way that Gemini writes is not bad at all. But if you look at just the layout of the page, right? Look at the way it's written. I would say that Ernie wins in that way because it feels a lot more natural. It actually feels like a blog post. That's going to look way better for SEO, right? I don't particularly like the headline, but I would say just by doing the bare basics and actually writing a nicely written article, I mean, look at this. Like, it looks like a poem almost, the page from Gemini and the page from ChatGPT, whereas Ernie 5.0, I would say, is better for writing. Now, that doesn't mean that I recommend this for writing. I would still recommend Claude 4.5 Sonnet, but Ernie did a better job than Gemini. That's for sure. Okay? Now, let's go to a new chat here. We'll switch to Ernie 4.5 again. This is interesting because it seems like we can upload videos directly into the chat here as well. So let's see what we got here. See if you can actually understand what's going on. So we'll upload this video animation that I created with Remotion and Claude Code. Insane, by the way, if you haven't seen that video. And then what we're going to do here is upload this video and say, okay, what is this about? And see if you can actually understand the video itself. We'll do the same inside Gemini. And then we'll do the same inside ChatGPT. So you can see here, it actually figures it out straight away, and it's pretty fast. Gemini is still thinking about it. And then ChatGPT totally failed, right? And again, I mean, on the benchmarks and in reality, I think Ernie is crushing ChatGPT, which is pretty worrying for OpenAI, to be fair. Gemini did pretty well there. Let's have a look at Claude if you can look at videos. Just gonna have a cheeky protein shake. I'm surprised by the speed of Ernie as well. Also, the final thing that I would say on Ernie is, like, last time I checked out the website, it was horrible to use and the UI was terrible. They've improved that a lot. It looks a lot nicer than it used to. Also, it used to be really hard to log in, whereas now you don't need like a Chinese phone number to log in, which we like. So this is actually figuring out as well. So Claude passed the test, Gemini passed the test, Ernie passed the test, but ChatGPT totally struggled. Now, it's also got these options for reading and writing on the left-hand side of Ernie. But you can see here, these are powered by Ernie 4.5 Turbo, right? Which is the old model. So just be wary of that. You also got this option for painting as well. But again, that's 4.5 Turbo. So you want to make sure that you're using 5.0. Let's try this out. We also got this Deep Think Auto too. And I'm going to say, okay, code in HTML, a PS5 controller. See if it can do that. Also, be careful, because if you press enter, sometimes it just wipes out the prompt. So something to be careful there. Right, I'm going to do the same inside Gemini on the canvas. And we'll do the same thing inside ChatGPT. It's also got these tools that can use image generation, which I didn't realize. That'd be interesting to try out on a new chat actually. And I haven't tried out the custom prompt option yet. Let's have a look here. So you can create a prompt, and then I think you can save it as well. So if we type in like SEO here, and then if we just grab a random prompt from the AI profit boardroom, like this, we'll go back inside Ernie, plug that in, hit save, boom, prompt saved. And see if you now click on custom prompt, super useful. You can save custom prompts, right? And it's kind of like a skill that's saved, and then you can look through the list. So you have these canned responses of prompts you can fall back on. So Ernie is still coding out. Let's have a look at Gemini. Not bad, but not great. To be fair, it's realistic, isn't it? It looks like a PS5 controller. Let's have a look at ChatGPT. We can click on the preview here, see what we got. Again, pretty bad when it comes to coding this out. I mean, you can see none of this is clickable, doesn't have the L2 or R2 buttons, and the dashboard is pretty much wrong as well, right? So Gemini is winning in that regard, but let's see how Ernie performs compared to both of them. You've actually got this preview option here inside Ernie as well. So it does have its own canvas featured natively that you can preview code with. And you can switch to dark mode as well. And you can just copy the text or the code if you want to as well right there. So let's see how this does. I will say specifically for coding, Ernie is super slow, right? It takes a lot longer than anything else. Also, what's crazy is they've got over 200 million users now monthly for Ernie Assistant, which is pretty insane. And bear in mind as well, like in terms of the top 8, this is outperforming DeepSeek as well. So in terms of Baidu's rankings, it's performing very well indeed, really. So we've got the code now. Honestly, if I had to rank them, I'm still going to say Google Gemini is a lot better, right? A lot better. This is okay. I would say that by far ChatGPT had the worst. At least this has a bit of color. Although that got kind of the right shape. Yeah, I would say Ernie and ChatGPT pretty average. And Gemini crushed it compared to both of them. You can see all the buttons are working. It's added the L2 and R2, etc. Followed the shape of the PS5 controller, so it's a lot better. So if you want to get the video notes and the resources from today, you can get that inside the AI Success Lab, like you see right here. So if you want to get the free notes from today, you can get that inside this free course. It comes with 100 prompts, a 30-day roadmap, and all the resources and links for using Ernie 5.0. You can also see today that it performs okay. It's not as good as Google Gemini, but it does outperform ChatGPT in many of the tests that we did today. And you can get free access to it at ernie.baidu.com. Now, if you want to join a community of 48,000 people and get all the video notes from today, you can do that inside the AI Success Lab. This also comes with all my best trainings, like you can see. If you want to learn more about these tools like Ernie 5.0, then you can just type it in the search bar here, right, as you can see. And then also, if you haven't already, check out the AI Profit Boardroom. This is an amazing community. Focus on growing and learning and scaling with AI automation. You see we have 2,100 members inside the AI Profit Boardroom. And inside the community here, you can post any questions. There's so many members now that we have more than enough people to help you and support you whenever you need to. You can also see inside the calendar, you can jump on these coaching calls live, get help and support whenever you need it. And also inside the classroom here, you can post questions and you can watch our latest courses. So if you want to go from beginner to expert in just 5 weeks, you can do that. Plus, you can learn how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes. You can see inside the playbook here, you can learn how to automate AI avatar videos, just like I do. I show you the whole process in the video tutorial. You can see we've got a full screen share process for AI avatars as well. If you want to learn how we automate X, which by the way helped us reach 423,000 people yesterday with our content, then you can check that out right here. And also, if you want to get our best automations for SEO, it's all inside the classroom. Now, also, you can learn how to get more clients for your agency. You can see our best AI SEO automations right here. And if you want to learn how we grew a YouTube channel from scratch and how you can do the same, you can check out the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description, or you can go to aiprofitboardroom.com. Appreciate you watching. See you on the next one. Cheers. Bye-bye.